Finally, God is also looking at the bhakta and seeing that you are not different from me. The final goal of the bhakti path is that the devotee dissolves in God, becomes one, and realizes, I am God. Yeah? Everybody stuck on the initial path. Yeah, that's where the bhakti marga every marga has its own little, what do you call it, a con. Yeah, there are pros and cons. So the con of the bhakti marga is this, that people get stuck in the duality of I and you. Yeah, and then they say that, okay, I surrender to you, I am nothing, you are everything, I can never be like you. In a way, they are giving the ego the right to, you can be wrong now, you are not everything, you are not great like him, you are not supreme like him. So it is an excuse for the ego to not change, to not transform, and this becomes a big roadblock, bottleneck on the bhakti marga, and people do not progress. Very few, like handful of people can get beyond this bottleneck and reach the true realization, oh, that the devotee merges in God, then there is no more devotee, there is only God. They never reach this last step, and this last step is not different from what Advaita is telling you. Yeah, non-duality, no two. Every path is taking you to the same place. Right. Yes, it's an unfolding. It's different for everybody. For somebody, one petal opens, then next, then after a very long time, next, and very long time, next. For some people, 2, 3 petals open together. I, being external to your body mind complex, will never know what are the vasanas that are running this body mind complex and what needs to be unfolded at what time. Do you get it? So, yes, every knowledge session helps 1 or 2 petals open up and a clarity to dawn. Yes. So that's how you go step by step, step by step. It does unfold. And every meditation also helps you do that. Advaita is showing you the final goal, the non-duality, which you will reach anyways. It says whether you go like this or you go like this, you will have to come back here. Do you get it? So if you can't go here directly, you will have to take the long path. But there is only one place to go. It doesn't matter whether you go through Bhakti Marga or you go through Yogic Dhyan Marga or you go through the Gyan Marga. There is only one place to reach, non-duality, where there is no I and no you, where there is oneness. Right. Both together. They are not different. Okay? I'll explain it to you. Now, in Advaita, what is said that you are Brahman. You are that consciousness out of which everything is made, in which everything arises, and in which everything dissolves. Yes? You have just forgotten it. And you are that witness. And some people are so ripe. They are almost standing at the door and they didn't know they have to open the door. So for them, they'll be like, yes, I got it. Yes. So those people, for them, Advaita works perfectly. Yes. But they have their old habit patterns of anger, hatred, jealousy, greed. You need to work on that also, right? So, because those keep coming up, and Advaita says, knowingness or witnessing is like space. So you let them come and You hold on to the silence. But I have a habit pattern of holding on to this negativity. So many times I fail. Yes. So then if I want to practice, then that's where Buddha helps, because Buddha has lots of vows. To begin with, only we have 3 vows. Even before you come to your first retreat, you'll have to take 3 vows. I will not lie, I will not steal, and I will not harm anybody or anything. Means I will not have that intention in my mind. And before coming for the retreat, I will make an effort to purify myself as much as I can. Yeah.
Okay.
So now knowing that I am this knower or this knowingness, this witnessing consciousness, I am knowingly purifying the mind so that it calms down and I can remain here longer. So lots of Advaita Swamis, teachers, monks always mention Buddha and Buddha's path. They go hand in hand. They are not different paths. Even Buddha's path is awareness, and even Advaita is awareness. Only the yogic paths are different, because yogic paths are more about mind's focus, mind's concentration on an object, like you just mentioned, the mantra or breath or whatever, japa, some sound, some guided instruction, somebody's voice. This is mind focusing on an object. One step beyond is the knowingness, the witnessing, or the consciousness. So this is the final goal on both Advaita and Buddha. Advaita is direct, right there, and then you deal with it. And Buddha is step by step, step by step, step by step. I get to the same, but I will take 5 different kinds of retreats, because he has 5 different kinds of meditations to get there. Understood? So you can do both together. You don't have to drop one to do the other. Yes, all paths lead home. Every path is going to take you home. Yeah. They're just different. Yeah, the purpose was because people could not understand witnessing. They could not understand consciousness. The way you recognize that pragya is talking, the mind is saying yes. You're recognizing the knowingness, yeah, the witness, yeah. Not everybody can understand it, and not everybody could uh, make that a regular practice. Practice also, I'm just saying, you don't have to practice to be the witness. You are the witness, but knowingly being the witness. So not everybody could do it. So then the sages, just as a concession, डिस्काउंट देते हैं ना, चलो ये नहीं हो रहा, ये कर लो, काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. चलो, you cannot do this, so you do chanting, or you focus on the breath. Okay, you do some yoga. You're a physical person. You're more of, take care of my health kind of a person, and you're not the person who wants to really reach the witnessing. Everybody has different priorities. Yeah, that's how these things came up. The intention was, even by doing that Rudra chanting, maybe you just come to the witness, to that quietness. You reach the silence that is within you. But then people held on to that particular technique. And then this person said, my technique is better. That person said, my technique is better. Now technique is fighting with technique. Unnecessary, pointless. Yeah. The main end goal was supposed to be the same, by the teachers who gave those techniques. The end was supposed to be reaching the same silence within. Get it? Yeah. So some things will drop off, and that's fine. Yeah. As you mature, Pragya had dropped off toys, and you never felt, oh, I'm dropping toys. They just dropped off like that. Conditioning is the hardest to break. No? That is the only problem. There is no other problem really. on the entire spiritual path, there is only one problem. The ego has identified with certain things. It identifies first with this body and thinks, I am the body. Then it identifies with relationships of this body and thinks, mine, mine, mine. Then it identifies with the ideas of this mine, mine, this one, this one, this one. Oh, all my ideas now, I take it. And then I make them my concepts, I make them my conditioning. So it's only adding a layer and layer and layer on what I truly am. I've forgotten who I truly am, and I've added on many layers. Yeah? Advaita or Buddha's path, both will help you shed, drop, drop. This is somebody else's conditioning. This is somebody else's conditioning. This is somebody else's conditioning. At the core, I find that uniqueness, the real me. Yeah? The diamond hidden under the dust. Yeah, so it is a very natural progression on this path that dispassion starts happening. Yeah. So why dispassion is happening, that also you understand. Conditioning dropped off, no? This side ka conditioning dropped off, let's say. So the what is this conditioning? It was my attachment to something, and that attachment dropped off. When that attachment drops off and that same thing comes my way, now I don't interact with it the way I used to. I'm not attached to it the way I was in the past. So that little difference becomes apparent to the family members because they see you every day. Yeah. So obviously they will feel that this is different. But sooner or later they will accept the new you. Yeah. So from your side, you do your best to be very kind at that point with them. Yeah. First, kind with yourself that this is just a conditioning that has dropped off, a past attachment that was there that has dropped off, and I have to be kind with myself, and that's okay, and I accept this. And secondly, now bringing that person on board lovingly, kindly. Yeah, that this is a new change in me. And I would really appreciate if you could also appreciate it. Yeah, that kind of a thing instead of bringing up a big fight. If you pick up your horns, the other person picks up his horns, and there is a nice bullfight. We don't do it that way. Yeah, if you are truly a spiritual person, you should be able to maintain that equation with your family members. That is your real testing ground. You get it? Spirituality is not restricted to these knowledge sessions. Spirituality is actually when you go back home with your most strong karmic relationships. Can I maintain it? Can I bring it out into my open-eyed daily routine? Otherwise, it's pointless. No, you will have to come to a proper kind of understanding in your head that till here I can accommodate. Beyond this, of course, it's too rash. It's the person is being unreasonable. I don't know who you're talking about or the situation, but you can gauge. It totally depends on your personal equation with that person. Yeah. Beyond a point, of course, it's okay if you got upset. It's okay if you got angry. Don't beat yourself up for that if that is what has happened. Yeah. It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. Yeah. Advaita says, it's like the space of this room. The space of this room has accommodated the sofa, the cupboard, the lamp, the computer, the table, and the garbage can. It did not say no garbage can out. Yeah. So like that, this knowingness, this witness consciousness can accommodate all kinds of thoughts and feelings. So even if there is hatred coming up, it is okay. It's just a past karmic seed which was bound to sprout today. It's time to sprout. Yeah. I just hold on to this empty space around it, the consciousness, the witness. I don't have to jump and hold on to this object. It's a temporary feeling. Feelings come, they stay for a while and then they go. Why should I hold on to that which is temporary? Let me hold on to the silence, the container of the feelings. Yeah? Just be there. Just keep yourself steady there. And don't get involved in that feeling. That is Advaita's way of dealing with it. Yeah? Okay. And this only gets doubly enhanced in Buddha retreat. We're doing this for hours together, observing a feeling and not reacting to it. I can't say I will not react to it when I get into a fight. I have to practice it when the mind is calm and when a memory comes of the past. So I'm practicing non-reaction. I'm practicing it. And then a point comes where this becomes my nature. And really in real life, somebody comes, but I've practiced it so much not to react, I don't react. It's not a question of reacting from the lips. In the mind, I didn't react. I didn't shake. I didn't have fear. I didn't flutter inside. Oh, wow, you feel, yes, this is one victory. You understand where I'm going with this? Yeah. So I have noticed that the combination of the two helps the people who don't get Advaita immediately. Yeah. There's nothing good or bad. We are all at different levels of maturity. We cannot compare ourselves. We are like mangoes hanging from the same tree. Some are kacha, raw, and some are in the middle, between raw and ripe, and some are absolutely ripe. Yeah, we are all one. There is just one tree. Yes, there's just one flavor. Somebody becomes ripe with some other understanding, somebody becomes ripe with some other understanding. Yeah, so hold on to that space, that quiet space. So that is obvious it's going to happen because you have a certain habit pattern with your brother since you'll have been little babies, okay? So this dates back the longest, I think. You wouldn't have a habit pattern as long as you would have with your own sibling. Yes, and that habit pattern is like a seed that is sown for whatever, 20 years of your life. Continuously you sow a particular seed. You have a particular way of reacting with him. And you will always say the same things. You will always do the same things. And just to poke you, he will still continue to do the same things. Like he'll throw shoes into the middle of the room because you don't like it. Yeah. So brothers do what they do. So this has created seeds. And these seeds, I'm going somewhere with that. So just bear with me. So you have planted these seeds growing up. And they keep sprouting in the way of anger coming up in exactly the same manner as you got angry a few years ago. Or saying exactly the same things to him that you said to him few years ago. And that's why even this happens with mom and you also. Mom says the same thing to you and you say you always say the same thing. Yeah, so you're seeing this happening? Yeah. These are habit patterns. Advaita is saying, number one, you recognize you are the witness of the habit pattern. You are not this habit pattern. You had identified till now as, what is your name? Preeti. Yeah, you had identified as Preeti. Preeti is just the name given to this mind and this body. But really, I am not Preeti. I am that witness, the one who is witnessing all this happen. Yes? till now I was not aware that I am the witness. It's like I gave you a particular role to play in a play, in a drama. You start rehearsing, practicing, you you do, like, you put in your 100%. I have to be the Queen of England, and I have to do this like so well that everybody in the audience feels that I am the Queen of England. And then you rehearse day and night, and you start feeling you're the Queen of England. You start behaving like the Queen of England at home, at school, at with friends, at office, wherever you are. And then everybody's like, hello, get out of this thing. No, you are not that. You are Preeti. Yes, that's what Advaita is telling you. Get out of that Queen of England mode. You are not. You are the witness. Yes. So it's like a kind of shaking us out of what we are not, what we had assumed to be. Now you immediately don't get out of that character. For some time, a friend reminds you, you're not the Queen of England, please behave normally. Then you start behaving normally, but because you've conditioned yourself, oh, I have to really act well on stage. So I have to go back into the character, and you go back into the character. So this is what is happening with you, that you recognize that I am the witness, but again your brother came into the scene and you became Preeti. And you became that sister, and that sister and brother thingy, drama, play goes on. You assume that. And now it's very hard for you when you've assumed that to recognize the witnessing. But as soon as this drama's over, you come back. And then you're like, oh, why couldn't I do it there? And that's fine. That's fine. This is itself a victory that you could do it before and after. Yes? This itself gives us proof that I can do it throughout. Like you're talking to me, you're speaking with me. Yeah? You're saying, the head is nodding, the mind is saying yes. There's somebody who is witnessing it. Correct?
Right.
Yeah. So in a calmer kind of situation, you are able to do it. Yeah? Where you're just interacting with a person, you're able to knowingly be the witness. Increase this ability, increase it at work with non-brother situation, non-mother situation, not situations where you get into that, where it's easy, like simple tasks in the house, cleaning, watering the plants, simple tasks, you start practicing it. And slowly you'll notice that even in the most turbulent situation, there is the witness. And sometimes the mind does take a dip into the witness, becomes calm, silent, and comes back saying, stop saying what you're saying. This is rude. Yes? But you're like, no, he said it first, so I'm going to say it. Yeah? So this does happen with us. This shuttling does happen, and it will take its time. Yeah? Give it its due time. A point will come where this will stop, and you will always be in the witness.
Okay. So then, my other question, based off that, I sat down in my room and I just sat quietly and processed what just happened after the argument. And I tried to do that mirror thing that we did on Sunday over the weekend. And I'm sitting on my bed looking in the mirror directly across from me, and I had this moment of, I didn't really recognize the person in the mirror. I didn't associate that person with,
with
ownership.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, but it only lasted maybe a minute. And then I looked down at maybe my hands, and I was like, they, again, no ownership to them, right?
Yeah.
And then my mind starts talking, and it's like, oh, you've only been doing this for a short time. There's no way that this is actually what you're supposed to be experiencing. This is not the witness either. This is just the mind playing games with you now.
No,
so then
this is
I don't know if that was real or not real.
It was real. It's like a sense the witness is telling you that, see, this is not I. It does not speak in words. It's the mind that dips back into that silence and comes up with the words. And you just have that kind of a sense, yeah, I am separate from this body. Yes. So
Okay.
this that
Yeah.
you are experiencing now, this becomes very clear as you mature spiritually. So the people who are enlightened, the sages, they can disassociate from the body. It's not a magical power. It's exactly what you experience. And they know it 24/7. That this is not I. Yeah. I have a body. I am not the body. This is their living reality. Yes. So even if there is a little accident, a wound, or the body is diseased, they always see it as, of course it hurts, but I am not hurting. There is pain in the body, but I am not hurting. I am separate from the body. I notice the pain. It's not that he does not feel the pain. In fact, he might feel the pain more than us because he's 100% there. Yeah? So he feels the pain, but he does not associate with it as I or mine.
Okay.
It's like you've been given this role, you have to go on stage and you have to play your role. Then you play your role. Because the role means this body and the mind. You have been given. So now you will have to exhaust it, right? So might as well complete your role and you do it properly. Yes. Along the way, if dispassion arises towards certain things, that's okay. Things will start dropping off. Like when Preeti started growing up from a little girl to a more mature teenager, the love for dolls or teddy bears somehow, just dropped off. You don't hate your dolls, you don't hate your teddy bear. You might even have them in your cupboard, but it's not the same kind of clinginess that you had when you were a little girl. Yeah? You see that?
Yeah.
It naturally shed off. So some things will naturally shed off, and that's fine. It's a part of the process. It's called spiritual maturity.
Okay. So just keep continuing to go along the path without trying to associate with all these titles.
Yes. I'm just playing the role. Yeah, I'm just playing the role. And that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been given the role and I just take the title. Okay, I'm a doctor or I'm then whatever, PhD. These are titles and it's my role. I continue to play it all the time knowing that I am the witness. I'm the witness.
Right.
If you found your path, then you start walking on Advaita. Very simple. But if you have that thirst from within that, oh, I want to see, will that path also go the same way? Yeah? First you climb your side of the mountain with Advaita, reach the peak, and then if your interest is still there, then you climb from the other side also. Then you climb from the other side also. Then you climb from the other side also. If you're the mountaineering, trekking kind of person, I can't stop you, right? Yeah.
Right.
So you see how it goes for you. Use your own reasoning, use your own understanding. If you find, yes, Advaita is working for me, then practice it. Yeah. Go deeper into it. And if you feel that no, little bit of refinishing is required for the mind because it gets caught up in raga, dvesha, then you already have Buddha's vows to fall back on. Yeah, because that helps immediately, the mind. And then you've already learned the first level of the technique of not reacting to the sensations in Buddha. So you have certain things that you can use and still keep walking the Advaita path. And if you feel I need to do more of Buddha to go deeper into the mind, then you take both hand in hand because they're going the same way. It's just that I already know the destination. I know the to address in my GPS, which I didn't know before.
Right.
Yeah. And you can go The Buddha's path, the best part of Buddha's path is you're going through your own experience, no?
Yes.
That makes it like this, nobody can take it away from me.
Right.
Yeah, let the greatest person come in front of me. This cannot be taken away because it is my experience. It's the flavor of the sweetness on my tongue. How can you take it away? It's not possible.
Right. Okay.
It's not me, it is you. It is you. It is your progress. It is happening automatically. You just needed a little bit of direction. I was just speaking to somebody else before you. Yeah? For some people, they are so ripe. They are ready. And Advaita is like they are just standing outside the door. Yeah? And it's like just somebody had to tell them, open the door. And they open the door and they see the light. Some people are so ready. But some people are not yet ready. They need to take 10, 15, 20 steps to get there. So, theek hai, that also we can do. Yes? But some people are ready. So, for them, I just spoke Advaita. Whatever happened, happened because of you, dear.
So it's very scary because now I want to do the 10-day Buddha retreat. And I'm very scared. I feel like if in 2 days, like I am with 2 kids and husband, and it's the same chaos that existed before, and it's not like you or Guruji, anybody's there every day practicing with me, but yet there is this unknown momentum that's taking me somewhere, and I'm like, where will the 10-day retreat take me? And it's very scary. It's
Why
like,
scary?
will I be able to?
Well, you're not going to leave your husband and run away. No, that's not going to happen. Don't worry.
Okay.
I am still living in my family. No, you see my family member right here all the time doing things, right? So, it's going to be exactly like that. In fact, you will come closer to your family. You will start experiencing real love, the love beyond emotions. Yeah, the connection, the oneness. It is inexplicable in words. It improves your life more than anything. So I don't think there is any need to fear. All those are all Himalayan stories that people run away to the Himalayas. Aisa nahi hota. This is too modern for that.
It's not about running away. It's about already now I feel more and more lonely in terms of how I perceive the universe, the world, and how the masses around me see it. And I feel like when the difference grows, will I be compassionate enough and tolerant enough of those thinkings around me, which I see as this is not right, this is not true, this is
That's
illusion.
okay. Yes, the compassion will increase. That's what Buddha's path is. It's about compassion. The more you see things clearly, the more compassion develops that this other person cannot see it. And I have to help this person in every kind way, in every manner. Yeah, you become very sensitive to other people's needs and you start putting other people's needs above your needs. They are more important. Yeah, the compassion increases manyfold, manyfold.
That must be a beautiful feeling. Like I already feel that I had sent you an email that when this pandemic is going on, I was suddenly like for 2 days I was just crying and I was just feeling so much pain and of all those people who have died in isolation, their families, and it felt helpless. And yes, you told me to meditate, and it's a two-way street. Mm-hmm. But I can see that what's the perfusion happening?
Yeah,
it's not. Yeah,
it's a very natural phenomena. Yeah? Respect that flow, honor it. It'll grow on you.
Yes. It's beautiful. Like being in the flow now, there is nothing else. Like if anything is happening, whether so-called wrong or so-called bad, the awareness of the flow is so strong that the small mind starts coming up with worries, and this one is like, shut up, and it shuts up. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, so the mind has become like a tool now. It's no more the
Yes.
master of the house. Fantastic.
It's not the boss, yes.
Good.
Yes.
So if you got enlightened here, like I told you, 36 to 82, like Buddha's lifetime, he got enlightened at 36, he passed away at 82. So the physical body that is there right now is called prarabdha karma, which I have to go through. Yes?
Yes.
At the same time, his future agami seeds were totally burnt out. So there is no coming back now. Why? Because of one thing which is the main in us is jiveshana, the craving to be. Yes, if you become very subtle in your observation, maybe it might happen in your Buddha, where you become so silent, your mind will almost come to a stop. And you will see no thoughts, no sensations, nothing. Yeah, just witnessing. And that witnessing is like darkness, it's nothing. And a point will come where suddenly the first thought comes, and you will notice it is the thought of I, and that thought of I has along with it a craving to exist, to be. Yeah, and you will notice it that way. It's like a restlessness about, why is there this silence? Why did all this stop? The mind does not like no mind state. And there you will understand the real meaning of the word jiveshana, as in your own experience rather than just somebody explaining it to you.
Mm-hmm.
There you will see there is a thirst in that I. It is always, the first thought is always an I.
Yes.
Yeah. It starts with an I or my. I, my. It's all connected. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And that will reflect as a jiveshana. You will be able to see that very clearly. That is the last thing to go. All your ragas, dveshas go first. That is the last thing that gets destroyed. And when that gets destroyed, the subtle body has really lost its desire to come back again. And the subtle body is the one that is actually throwing the agami seed, the future seed. It seizes it. It stops its activity because there is no more desire to be back to exist. There is no more want to exist. That's how the karmic cycle ends.
But what if, like how the sages, gurus come back to teach others?
So this is not complete enlightenment.
Oh, okay.
It's not full enlightenment yet. That craving to be is there, even to help others. There's still a craving to be first, and then only can I help others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Point comes where even that vanishes. I don't even want to do anything. I don't want to exist.
Mm.
Yeah? It's not a depressing kind of want to exist, but there is no, the seeking is not there anymore. There's an absolute calm, an absolute peace, an absolute, there's like a lake, a serene lake which does not have a ripple of craving or aversion.
Yeah.
So because it has no seeking and no resistance, automatically there is no coming back.
So are there stages, like first you go through the stage of you want to come back to make Earth a better place,
Yeah.
for people to be able to progress.
Yes.
And once you have done that at least one time, or I don't know how many times, then finally you reach that stage where you don't even want that.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so it's gradual. It's not like suddenly you reach that highest.
Some people can.
Okay.
Some people have zero thirst. They don't even want to come back for anything. Some people can get there direct. So there are stages in enlightenment. Yeah. It's mentioned very clearly in the Yoga Vashishta, the stages of enlightenment. Yeah. So there are
Okay.
stages.
So I found a reason to read a scripture.
But it is only intellectual. Na? Kya fayda?
That's true. Yeah. But there are stages of enlightenment, as you said. So let's say I get enlightenment in this lifetime and I want to come back in the next life to teach. But to get that body-mind complex, I have to have karma. But now, if in this lifetime I've reached that certain stage of enlightenment, will the karma cease, or will it only partially cease, and that what is partially remaining will help me get the body-mind complex? I'm not understanding.
It can be both. There are cases of fallen yogis also. Yeah. So they get back into their attachments. So Jada Bharata story, you know?
Yes.
So he got attached to a deer in the last few years of his life. And it is said that he had to come back as a deer. Yeah. It is said that it is a very rare thing for something like this to happen, but such things happen.
And then the whole thing, the cycle begins from scratch, like you were born as an animal and then you have to climb up again.
Not necessarily. We don't know that part. Yeah, that is not really mentioned in the mythology and the scriptures how it happened. But it's given as a word of caution to every person who leaves from his ashram, for the monks who finally graduate and then they are going back into the world. So they always say, always keep a very vigilant eye on your karma, because this has happened with Jada Bharata.
But then you don't start from scratch. Say if you die with one attachment, it's only that -1, right? It's not really.
I guess so. The Maya, you cannot, it's unfathomable. You cannot say, oh, 1 + 1 is 2 only. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है ना.
Right.
Higher mathematics होगा. हमको कैसे पता है? Yeah, so there are some things we don't know. Some things which our little minds and intellect cannot comprehend.
Yes, but this is truly fascinating that me being in the house as a householder with the family, I'm able to experience all this. It's amazing how the universe works, and beautiful.